Hello there, Lorena Carr here for Daily Vibe Check. It is Tuesday, March 16th, the day before my favorite holiday. Yeah, so gotta love St. Patrick's Day. It's also my grandfather's birthday on my dad's side. He's in heaven now, so he often comes through in readings for me though, so we'll see if he's sticking around, if he's kind of hanging around for readings this week. Maybe he'll jump in and share some information. Who knows? At least pop in and say hi. Okay. So let's see what we need to know for this Tuesday. And remember, if you're watching this not on this day, it doesn't mean it's not a message that's for you today. Keep that in mind. Because sometimes we're called to look at things in just the right time, even if it's meant for technically another day. You hear the message when you're supposed to hear the message. Okay. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know. The star reversed. Whoa, that was a theme last week. We had that come up a couple of times, actually. So the star reversed is, again, I say this adamantly, that the star, no matter whether it's upright or upside down, is a very positive card. And it is a card of rebirth, renewal. It's the card that follows the tower, where we burn everything to the ground. Sometimes there's a shock of a pain of something ending, coming to an end. And this is saying that you will move through it and you will start over, but maybe there's just a little bit of a delay, or it's just not happening soon enough. Or maybe you're making a choice not to move through it as fast as you should. So let's see what the next card is. 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords. So 10 of Swords is all about irrevocable endings. Something coming to an end. It can feel like it has a sense of betrayal sometimes, because the original card, the original tarot, is like a guy laying face down with 10 swords in his back, and he's like bleeding out on the beach. A little daunting. This is not so daunting. This doesn't feel as death-like. It can mean that there's a sense of completion. There's a sense of completion to something, and it is time to move on from something. So maybe this is saying you have not moved on from something that is not coming back, and that it is time to let something go. This can be any aspect of your life. And I know I talk about that a lot, like, things that aren't ending. This has a kind of a different vibe to it, though. It can be a relationship that needs to be let go. It can be a job, but I feel like it, like, let go of like a self-limiting belief is what I'm hearing. So in order to move forward and move into this newness, into this new thing, you have to stop sabotaging yourself. And that's not even a card about sabotage, but I feel like it's saying that get over it. What you're wanting to happen is done. Like, it's done. You've moved through it. It's time to move on. And until you do, you're not going to have that sense of rebirth and renewal. You can try all day long to be like, oh, well, I'm going to move forward. But then you have this thing on your back that's like not working for you. So let's see what this Soul's Journey card. Let's see what we get for Soul's Journey cards. Indecision, which is funny because yesterday's card was things are coming clear, call to action, time to make a decision, the right thing to do. And now this is indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So when you're not sure what you should be doing, you need to be using your intuition and let that be your guide. Trust your instincts. So if you're needing to move on from something and start new, but you're just kind of letting it linger, is it because you're not able to decide? or you're not listening to your intuition. So I think this is just a call to say, hey, you've got to plug in. And this card is also about not listening to your intuition and not stepping into your power. Like, you have so much power. And one thing I like about this card, in QHHT, we talk about, like in the training classes, there's a source, God, creator, like however you want to label it, is this huge, huge, huge energy. And everything's energy. Everything. We are energy. Our words are energy. Our thoughts are energy. Everything is energy. And it all is tied. We are tied to this energy. And it's so important for us to realize that this is aligned to direct power. We have so much more power than we think. And when we recognize and remember, oh my gosh, I've got access to this amazing resource that's going to help me be better. But then when we're forgetting that we have that and something needs to be done, then we feel like we can't make a decision about something. So kind of see how that sits, see how that message sits, and feels. If there's something that you feel like you're disconnected from source, maybe you're feeling like you feel lost, or you feel like God has abandoned you. Ooh. Do you feel like you're not connected to the source, like you've been left behind? That was big. That was like a cold chill moment just then. And you're having a hard time moving forward in a situation. You're having a hard time letting this go and making this end that needs to happen. You're unable to do that because you're not sure, and you're feeling like you're not getting the messages that you're asking for, or you feel like you've been left behind, or that God's not connected to you. Maybe you don't believe in God. Maybe you don't believe in source, which, that's a whole other layer on there too. Like, if you don't feel like you can count on that energy that we all have access to, it can be frustrating. So this is challenging to use your intuition if you are not being able to decide or move forward about something, and know that by remembering that we have like this silver cord, this silver cord that is attached to source while we're here. It's kind of like when you go deep sea diving, and you like those old school things with the big giant helmets. And I think if you go to Discovery Cove down in Florida, you could do that. They have a whole experience. They put the shoulder things and then they plug in and they pump air into you, and you go down underneath, and you walk around the bottom of this really cool water cove. Ultimately, you've got this thing that's attaching you to life. It's giving you oxygen. It's keeping you alive. If you were going to go down there that far down and not have oxygen, that's a problem. Yeah. We have, as humans here on Earth, we have a silver cord that attaches us to source, to the other side. So when it's time to go back, we still have that connection. We can get pulled back. All right, come on, bring them in, like fishing. Yeah, come on. That cord is attached. And then once we get to the other side, we can be like, oh, cool, let go. We don't need it. We don't need the extra oxygen in the giant mask walking around on land, right? We don't need it there. So remember, you have access to so much more power than you think. So much more power. Each of us, just us alone, are made of the giant balls of energy. And we're tiny compared to source, right? But we have all this energy. And you know what? Okay, Sam, this is how big my energy is. You know how much I'm using as a human being here? This much. I'm utilizing this much energy as a human being. This is how big I am in spirit. This is how big my energy is. have all this energy, love, beautiful, just beautiful energy and wisdom and knowledge and access to so many things. And when we come here, this is all we're utilizing. And we have that silver cord. If you can remember that you have that silver cord and you are attached, there won't be indecision. There just won't be. So interesting, because when I picked this up just now, it was attached to another card. I didn't realize there were two here. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Interesting. So kind of take that for what it, however that sits. Are you afraid to let something go for fear of judgment? Are you afraid to step into, maybe you have this limiting self-belief, maybe you've got a limiting religious belief, maybe you've been raised a certain way and you can't move on from that for fear of judgment, even though you know it's the right thing to do. You've got to let this go, but you can't because it's part of the brainwashing process that happens when we're little. And it's important for us to understand that we come from something so much bigger, so much more powerful than any being here on this earth. Any being on this earth. Because we are all little microscopic pieces of ourselves on the other side. So don't be afraid of judgment. And also understand that maybe you're sitting here judging me. Maybe you're like, oh my, she's a nut job. What the? I was talking about source and tiny and micro, whatever. Just know that I'm on my own path. And then I have my own, that I've been on my own journey for a while. And this is how I process, and this is how I'm able to make decisions, and this is how I'm able to live my life. And I'd say it's working out pretty well for me. So I'm going to stay on this path, because the paths I was choosing before definitely was not working for me. I was a miserable hot mess. Now I just realized that, wow, I have so much more than I ever thought I could ever have. So find your cord, find your energy. Just know that Spirit's there for you, and that that everyone's on their own path. Everyone's here on their own journey, and we all have purpose here. Maybe you don't know what your purpose is. Maybe you're working towards it, but you've got to listen to your intuition. You have to listen to your guides. Let Source guide you. Let your guides, let your subconscious, let your higher self. They all see the bigger picture. They're up. They're going. They're like playing a video game. No. Pac-Man. Waka, 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 waka. Yeah. They see the ghost and they're like do 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 do. They're trying to make you go the other way so you don't run into the ghost and die. Make sense? So that's pretty much what we are. We are Pac-Man games. Interesting. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Lots of messages there today. If you would like a reading, I do readings via Zoom. Check me out at messagesfromtheotherside.weebly.com. And I'd love to make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'd love to connect with you here on YouTube if that's what you wish to. So have a great evening or day. I guess it's day. Sorry. Have a great day. It's nighttime here. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.